Today I'm going to show you how I made some really sweet planner charms using Shrinky Dinks and a paper pack from TaylorMade Cards for You. Hello and welcome to Debbie J's Crafting Corner. I'm Debbie and each week I show you how you can create awesome cards and other crafty projects. Because if I can make it, you can too. So if you'd like to see more tutorials and inspirational videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. You'll also want to check out TaylorMade Cards for You's monthly challenge. There's a link to the challenge below for you to get all of the details. We will have a new theme each month, but the challenge is anything goes. And this month's prize is a $10 gift code from TaylorMade Cards for You. You'll also find a discount code over there for 20% off of your digital order from TaylorMade Cards for You. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. Okay, I do that a lot. I'm going to try out Shrinky Dinks, which I've had a pack of these in my stash for probably 2 years, unopened. And I just found a few more on sale and I went ahead and grabbed those too. So now I kind of need to at least try the thing out and see what I can do with it in my crafting. So one of the images that is in this month's kit is just darling and I think would be so good using this technique. So we're going to give it a try. And you see, this has not been opened yet. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can print on Shrinky Dink paper, which I've read you can. So I'm going to try it out on my Canon inkjet and I will be right back. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. I did a little research first online, and there is supposed to be a version of Shrinky Dinks that is made for using with your inkjet printer. So I'm not sure that this is going to turn out, but we will see. And it looks like you're supposed to print on the matte side. So there's a shiny side and a matte side, and you're supposed to reduce the opacity by 30%. So I did all of that. Then I imported the image into Scan and Cut, actually into Brother Canvas Workspace to try to get an outline, because I'm not sure, as you can see, you can barely see the image. I'm not sure that my Scan and Cut would be actually able to see this if I just tried to do a scan. And that seemed to work out good. I'm not an expert on that, so I'm not going to share that part with you yet. I need to do a little bit more practicing. And I just went ahead and sent that file, the FCM file from my Brother Canvas Workspace, over to my Scan and Cut, and I'm going to see if I can get these to print out, to cut out correctly before we try shrinking. So I will be right back. So the next thing that we're going to do, because it did cut out just fine, I gave it kind of a wide border around it, you know how you can do an offset, mostly because I don't know what it's going to look like when it gets smaller. But next, if I want to be able to attach these to anything, you know, like with a string or a brad or anything like that, I need to punch a hole. And to do that, I'm going to use my crocodile and use the larger of the hole punch. I hate doing this because that part right there is just so darn pretty, but let's see if I can get it in there far enough so it's in the hole. I think I've got it in the right spot, so I'm going to go ahead and punch that. Okay, and it did good because don't know if you can see the image or not, but there is like a gemstone image right there. You can probably see it better on this side, and I was able to get the hole further in so I didn't mess that part up. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to each one of these. Go ahead and punch a hole. So the next thing I'm going to do, and the reason I brought out this pan is actually from my kitchen. It's from my toaster oven, and we use it all the time. That's the thing. We use my toaster oven for food, and I don't really want to have plastic melting fumes in there with the food. So I don't recommend that you use your toaster oven that you use for food preparation for this technique. And I think I'm going to start with the little one first. The way that the instructions said is you needed to print, or you needed to have your image to be about 3 times as big as what you want it to. So it's going to shrink down, I believe they said to about 1/3. So we will see how this one does. And I'm going to just use a craft pick or awl to hold it down and hold it in place. I have not done this before, so you guys are going to see with me how it turns out. So I've got my heat. I have not turned my heat gun on yet, so it's still cold. So it may take a minute before this starts to actually react. It's supposed to flatten out when it's done. And one reason I have it in the pan here is so that if I happen to lose it, it won't fly away. So let me try holding it on another piece of the plastic, hold it still. Okay, now it's starting to straighten out. So let me see what we've got here. And I need to heat it up a little bit more just to be able to get it to flatten itself back out. And I think I accidentally stretched it. Okay. So that is what this one looks like, and it's not, I think I probably lightened it up a bit more than I needed to, since this is not a white card, a white thing, and I'm not sure if I did this one right. So anyway, it is adding an interesting little embellishment though, so that means I've got it to play with. So I'm going to try it again on another one. And now my heat gun is a bit hotter, so hopefully that means it's going to work better. Waiting for it to come back, to go back into shape, and it's not wanting to do it. And I don't particularly want to have the key be curled up like that, so I'm trying to get it to flatten back out, and I'm not sure why it's not working. Okay, so now it's at least sort of in the shape that I need it. I think I'm going to turn it over and see if I can get it to flatten out that way. And there it goes, trying to curl up again. Goodness. It's starting to flatten out mostly, and it is very warm. So let me put, this is basically a little metal container from Dollar Tree, and the only reason I'm putting it on there is because it should be able to absorb that heat okay. Okay, this one I like the way it looks a little better. So now I've got a couple of little key embellishments. One I like better than the other. And this time I'm going to hold on to it on that end and see if I can do the center first, and hopefully it won't do that. Okay, now it's flattening out about the way I want it to. That is much better, but I do need to redo that bit down at the bottom. So part of the problem may have just been that my heat gun was not hot enough. Okay. Let's get that one flattened out more. Then I'm going to try working on this one. Hopefully, because of the size of this one is going to be at least twice the size of these when it's done. So hopefully this one is going to turn out better. And one thing that is happening on this metal pan, which means maybe I should have gone with silicone instead, is that the pan is starting to get hot, which means that as I'm doing this, the plastic is sticking somewhat to the pan. But I think I've got that about as straight as it's going to be. So here's that second little charm. So I'll go ahead and show you those. So this is the first one that's kind of warped. Don't know if I can fix it or not. Come on, camera. There we go. So I don't know if I can fix this one, but the other two look just darling. I think that I could have done a little better with the, instead of doing, reducing the opacity, I think it would have looked just fine without it. And here's the larger of those keys. And it is a little bit crooked, but that is still pretty cute. And here you can see that it did try to stick a little on the pan. So this one does have a little bit more work for me to do on it to see if I can get it to straighten out a little bit more. So let's give that a shot. I did manage to get the key part to actually straighten out a little bit. So that does look pretty good, and that pan is getting pretty hot. But for my first attempt, that's not too bad, and I think these would look really cute on any kind of project, which I will add it to and show you guys a finished project once I get done. I had planned on showing you guys how I also made the traveler's notebook that I attached these to, but I couldn't bring myself to knock out any of that hilariousness of my first attempt with Shrinky Dinks. So I did do some more experimenting with them, and I think I got it working okay for future reference. However, all of the packs that I had, none of them were actually for printing, so now I know that. For future reference, I will be using one that is made for printing if I print on it, but you can stamp and die cut and all of that good stuff with these things, and they would make some adorable charms. I hope that this inspires you to create something great, and I would love to see what you create. So come join my Facebook group, Crafting with Debbie, and show us your creations. I've left a link down below. And be sure to also check out all of the other crafters on the Tailor-Made Cards for You design team. I know that they will have a lot of inspirational projects for you to see. Here are a couple more videos that I know you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. See you next time.